Hi, I'm Chris from Airwindows, and I've got a new plugin for you. Actually, as you can see, I have all kinds of stuff changed around. I have been very busy because when I need to do things like update plugins for M1 Macs, my sense of inspiration tends to take over and make me do all manner of other things, which I have to get out of the way first. But I do have a plugin, and I talked about it last week. This is Verbity. I can show you what that looks like. And indeed, if I want to get a little funky, I can send my voice into the crazy giant verb here. Here's how this works. We've got bigness, which is going to give you like the size of the room size you're dealing with. Longness, which neatly controls the general depth of how much sort of regeneration you get. And as you can hear, you can make it hang on for a bit longer or cut out. If you turn it to 0, it's actually still doing the amount of regeneration, but the regeneration that it's doing is the same as what you get off of like MV, so it's one of those word length shifting gain settings where it's shifting by exactly 6 dB to not change the mantis of the... That's technical detail. And let's show you something else as well, which if we put it to a enormous long reverb send, darkness is a filter that's not quite like the filter in any of my other reverbs, and we can make it go very dark indeed to almost nothing. And what might you be able to do with that? Also note, if you have it at literal 0, it's one of those Airwindows filters where it can lock some low frequencies in there, so you might not want to set it to literal 0 and leave it for a long time. Like I said, if I make a loud noise into it and then set it to 0, it might just hang on to a little energy, which will go away again as soon as you have it doing something. So what might we be able to do with something like this? Well, let's fire up some music. There we go. And I can cut the mic feedback, I think. So one of the things I've done with this in the last week is incorporate stuff I had going on in a previous version that I was working on Mondays, where I was trying to get a thunder effect to happen. And it was very difficult because if I fed back stuff more than it needed to be, I tended to run into either just tones happening or a DC runaway or just craziness. But I dialed it in, and here's what you got. You can just barely hear drums off in the distance. That is this kick channel. Again, I've got everything cranked up a lot. And then as we start to approach, or we can actually, let's cut the longness back because we don't really need it to be reverberating as much. Or we could have it reverberating if we're trying to act like it's thunder. And then option to get subtle changes. Pretty decent extreme distance effect there. And then we'll keep going. And bring some of the highs in again. And there we have pretty crazy reverb effect. So there you have it. That's the new Airwindows reverb. It is my new best, and it's based off of stuff that Casey from Bricasti talked about publicly about how feed-forward reverb networks were better. I gotta say, I think he was right. I think feed-forward reverb networks are better, although we are still using some feedback. This longness setting has that going on. So there you have it. Verbity is a old school AU and Mac VST, also PC VST and Linux VST. And the weirdest thing is that I have been spending some time getting not only my studio up and running more than it was, but also the new Mac laptop with the M1 chip. I've been working on getting that together, and it's pretty much together. Thing about it is, I updated, I think a version, either it was an update on Big Sur or it was an update on Logic or something like that. And all of a sudden it recognized all of my old plugins. So I don't know whether that's just me, and it's just teasing me because I know people want me to update my stuff for it. I still don't have a lot of progress on that, but I have an additional person who's offering to help. So there will be progress. They're sorting out some stuff, and they will find some time to pitch in. I'll be doing all the heavy lifting, of course, though. The going through 200 plugins is not something I'm going to shop off to somebody else, but somebody needs to talk me through how to set it up. But yeah, my M1 machine currently runs all of these plugins, including this one, without it being updated for native. But I'm still going to, because I'm deeply impressed with what the new machines can do in native. But for those of you who aren't interested in the M1 updates and all that kind of stuff, I have Verbity. It's the Windows, Linux, and Mac VST for those who aren't dealing with all that kind of stuff. I don't know when I'm going to be getting around to doing M1 Mac VST versions. The AUs kind of take priority there. And while I'm at it, let's play you out with a Roland Alpha Juno in my studio, which I believe is going to be patched in. Yep. This is a simple Roland Alpha Juno patched into my studio and running into Verbity for this deep reverb sound. And I'll play you out with a little bit of demonstration of what you can get with this reverb. You will be able to download it for free because I'm Patreon supported. So the work that I do and everything that you see and all this kind of stuff is supported through, what is it, like 3+ years now of gradually building up my Patreon. If it gets to $2,000 a month, I'm going to start doing some hardware DIY project support, and I'm set up to send people out stuff if they have trouble getting hold of things like chips and wire and such. That's something I've been setting up for a while, so I'm pretty excited about that. But for now, check it out. Here's the new plugin. This is not a hardware reverb. This is in the box. And I'm knocking lights over. Don't mind me. There you have it. Hope you enjoy Verbity. And again, this is my new best reverb. I don't know if I'm going to have any more updates for it or whether I have anything else in store. If you want further tweaks to this and more versions of reverbs coming out, drop by on Monday. I'm probably going to be working on updates to my tape emulations, but we'll see. Hope you like Verbity. Thanks for your patience as I get all of my gear and stuff together, and because there's lots that I work on. And again, like being Chris from Airwindows, I get involved with stuff like setting up my video, as you see, new video, and all this other kind of thing. So it's sometimes a little hard to ride that little pony because it goes off in funny directions, like updating the video or setting up the keyboard so that I can use that, or setting up the studio so that I can track live and people can hang out with me while I do that. There's just all kinds of stuff. But it's an amusing journey. And thank you for joining me with it. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.